Empowering change through education is about practice and using the right tools to get the desired results. But that change has to start at a young age, in children up to 7 years old. On the ground, that foundation in our children was disrupted for 2 years by the COVID pandemic. The introduction of the Think Equal program in Belize brings social and emotional learning for positive life outcomes in children.
And what we realized that when we speak about the loss of learning, the foundational years were the most affected. So kids who were 1 had got to 3. The kids who were 3 had gone to 5, and they had had no experience going to school. Kids who were 5 were now 7, and they had not gone to school at all. They've all been online, and that's your first interaction with school. So that we recognized that this was a huge gap. And as much as we recognized that there were gaps in other age groups, we realized that if you miss that fundamental year, it's going to be difficult. As much as we are investing in the other areas of the curriculum, let's get back to the basics. The 5 to 7-year-olds have to be established. And it's not just about numeracy and literacy, as we are saying. These are fundamental pieces that will never leave the education system. It's about emotional intelligence. It's about managing my feelings. How do I feel today? How do I manage it? Because that's what we're finding in society today. People, though highly educated, still cannot manage certain emotions. And that's why we're struggling with violence and crime and insecurity and conflict in many parts of the world.
Minister of Education Francis Fonseca says that the Think Equal program complements the work of the ministry as it allows training for teachers and provides resource materials. So far, about 100 Infant 1 and Infant 2 teachers have already been trained.
Providing lesson plans for our teachers. The whole idea is to make this as accessible and as easy for them to use, easy to understand, easy to teach. So that's the whole idea. Again,
this takes effect September, right?
Yeah, it's a rollout. So it's rolled out in phases. So we start this year, and then gradually we roll out across the country. But it starts this year.
How many teachers have been trained?
I'm not sure about the numbers. I think you'd have to get that from the CEO. But I think this first phase, I think they're teaching. We have a few hundred early childhood educators in our country. I think this first phase they're dealing with probably about 100 in this initial phase teachers. It's Infant 1 and Infant 2 teachers. I think it's about 300 classes we're dealing with at Infant 1 and 300 classes at Infant 2. And so it's the teachers in those classrooms that we're trying to train and get prepared for this.
This initiative has been in the pipeline for more than a year, coming out of a United Nations summit that spoke to transforming education and investing in early childhood education.
Those early formative years of a child's life and development, with a real opportunity for us to instill in that child the right values for life. And so it fits right in with our new national curriculum framework. Which is about equipping our young people with the right values and attitudes for living. The objective, of course, is at the end of the day that we are producing out of our education system students who are going to be productive, disciplined, respectful members of our society. Critically important, that's a part of the whole Think Equal program. It's about respecting others, appreciating the differences in other people, and understanding that we're not all the same, but everybody has value, and that's very important in terms of our special needs students. Having everyone understand that they have a right to lead full, productive, meaningful lives, and that we must give them every opportunity to learn and to grow and develop into productive citizens of Belize. So yes, that's an important aspect of it, ensuring that we teach our young children to respect and appreciate students with disabilities.
Diversity does not have to be conflict. Diversity can be complementary. You come with your skills, you come with your culture, and it makes such a massive, beautiful melting pot. And I think that's what we are looking at. How do we nurture that going forward? Like the speaker said also, kids are born with such an open mind. They have a white slate. It's what we write on the slate that forms the human being. And hopefully with Think Equal initiative, and it's not just a project, it's a reformative, transformative investment in education.
Duane Moody for News 5.